Jackson! 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 Nerds! Oh, this is Mr. Hornsby 3. This is the Mr. Hornsby 3 show, and the reason why I started off with that is because the other day we just recently had the passing of Donald Gibbs, who was well known for his role in Revenge of the Nerds as Ogre, and then he was also in Bloodsport. Those are the two most notable movies. So R.I.P. to Donald Gibbs. It's a shame he passed away. I didn't even know how old he was at the time. Like, he's like, what, I think in his late 60s or something like that. But it's a shame he didn't get more bigger roles after Bloodsport and Revenge of the Nerds, because he's pretty good. And honestly, had they made a G.I. Joe movie in the 90s, I probably would have picked him to be Sergeant Slaughter in the G.I. Joe live action movie. Which would make sense, because the person I would have had play Serpentor in a G.I. Joe live action movie in the 90s would have been Dolph Lundgren. But sadly, he passed away the other day, so I wanted to pay a tribute to him. That's why I did the Jackson, and then I did the Nerds thing. But my voice is still shot. If you heard my voice, on the live streams Monday, you could tell my voice was shot. Also want to say R.I.P. to Dory Funk Jr. He passed away a couple days ago as well. So R.I.P. to Dory Funk Jr. Now it's crazy because now that new wave, that new Legends wave with the Steiners is definitely probably going to be tougher to find, because that's the one that has to build a figure of Dory Funk Jr. So, man. And outside of that, one more thing before I start this Shark Week video. At the end of this video, I am going to talk about, my predictions for next week's final episode of Season 2 of X-Men 97. Now, I did have predictions on it last week. I held the Shark Week video back till this week, so I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video. I also got a big FU shout out to someone at the end of the video as well. Maybe in the middle of the video, who knows, but anyway. So anyway, let's get into Shark Week this week, which started later than it usually does, because usually, like, Shark Week usually starts like middle of July, but this year it didn't start the middle of July. Well, the past couple years it started the middle of July. This year it started like at the end of July, which was kind of weird, because like I said, the past couple years it started in the middle of July. So I don't know. Anyway, so first thing I want to talk about is the first episode they did this year, which was the K-pop Demon Hunter one. And you know what? I don't watch that show. I got a niece that likes the show. My brother-in-law John's stepdaughter likes it. And which you'll see John Friday in the live stream NFL picks. Season picks. Alright, call him later today and remind him about it. Anyway, I did not like the K-pop Demon Hunter thing. I thought it was stupid. It was really dumb. The episode that came on after that was good. But, and some of the other stuff they showed this week was pretty good. But golly, can we stop with this nonsense? I mean, a couple years ago we had Shaq, who was afraid of sharks. Then we had Mike Tyson. Then we had, I think, William Shatner. And a couple other freaking celebrity things. I get it. They want to try to keep people focused and entertained on watching Shark Week, because some people don't watch Shark Week the way I do. But first of all, the athletes you got and the actors you got are kind of washed up actors. I mean, come on now. A couple years ago, they also had Jackass people freaking doing that. Impractical Jokers, they're kind of newer, but you're getting old sports celebrities like frickin' Shaq, who's like now an analyst for NBA. Mike Tyson, who's a washed up boxer. And William Shatner, who hasn't been relevant since he frickin' played Captain Kirk in the frickin' Star Trek movies. Well, I'm not going to say he hasn't been relevant. He has been in other movies, like one of my favorite movies, National Lampoon Loaded Weapon. But it's just getting tiresome, like, golly. Especially the one they did with the Jackass crew. I'm like, oh, God, why? To promote that was like that frickin' Jackass movie that came out a couple years ago. Now, apparently they got the one that's coming out that's going to be the final one. Why not get a current sports star to frickin' do something like, I don't know, there was one year where Jason Momoa hosted, and then The Rock hosted. Why not get a current, and even Rock and frickin' Jason Momoa are kind of getting older in the tooth. I mean, Momoa's been around for a while. Rock's an old wrestler. He's an old movie star too, but, you know. Yeah, by the way, broken out a week early for YouTube. Anyway, so yeah. I did not care for the K-pop Demon Hunter. The one about Big Rose I did like. Big Rose the shark. It's like this shark that's like 20 feet long, which I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. We also had one where this professional diver was going to dive into a cage from a helicopter with a bunch of reef sharks surrounding the cage. Boy, you gotta be really athletic to pull something like that off. And she did. She did it. It was pretty good. She said she still had fears of sharks. But, you know, it still worked out pretty well. But, yeah. So I want to talk about the Big Rose episode, which is the one that stood out to me the most this year. That and the giant Mako one, which I'll talk about, Monster Mako one. That also stood out to me this year, and I'll talk about why in a minute. Well, let's get back to the Big Rose episode. So, I guess last year, I don't remember seeing this episode, but apparently they found a shark that is bigger than Deep Blue. Or around the same size as Deep Blue. It's also a female shark too, that's why it's called Big Rose, I guess. But the thing that's intriguing is this shark, they said the average size of a shark is like what? 18 feet or something? This shark's 20 feet long. And then we had the Monster Mako episode where they tracked down a 15-foot Mako, and they say the average size of a Mako, gets to 10 feet or something like that? 12 feet? So I want to know, what is causing these sharks to grow now? I mean, we've had Deep Blue. I think years ago, one of the biggest sharks they had was that Colossus one, which got eaten by people who think it's another shark. Maybe the Megalodon, but you know what? The scientific community won't admit that. But so what are making these sharks get even bigger than what they used to be? Because we've had Deep Blue, now we got this Big Rose shark. I think they did one a couple years ago about Deep Blue's family, who was like almost as big as her, or you know, as big as her. So what is it that's making these sharks grow? Because, you know, is it some kind of pollution in the water? Are these sharks, did they change something in their food? Did they change something in their food that caused them? Is there something else at play? Like maybe there's a group of scientists out there that's taking these sharks and injecting them with something that might be making them get, you know, bigger. But I bet the people that run Shark Week won't investigate that. I bet they won't. But it could be also some kind of evolutionary thing where they are going to make great whites the top of the food chain in the ocean, because the biggest enemy to a great white is an orca, aka killer whale, like Free Willy in that. So are great whites going to get bigger to where they could take on a freaking orca by themselves now? That could be something too. Maybe the evolutionary changing. Maybe something in their eating habits changed or something like that to make these sharks get bigger. But it's kind of, if it is an evolutionary thing, why isn't like bulls getting bigger, or freaking tigers, or freaking hammerheads or anything like that? So maybe it's some scientists out there that are freaking injecting stuff into these sharks that are making them get bigger than what they usually would be. Because, and then why, and if it is evolution evolving these sharks, why is it only the great white and the mako? Why is it not the other sharks? Why, like I said, like bulls, tigers, sands, reefs, white tips, whatever. Why aren't those sharks getting bigger? Also, if it's pollution, why isn't the other sharks being affected and growing bigger than what they normally would be if it's pollution? That's another thing you gotta think about. But, you know, if it is pollution, or if they are getting injected with something, that would explain why some of these sharks are more aggressive than what they used to be toward humans. Because, honestly, I've heard about more aggressive shark attacks recently than I used to hear about back when I was younger. So, is whatever they're being injected with, or is the pollution affecting them and they're being more aggressive toward humans when they freaking bite them? As they say, an investigatory bite. Could that be the case? Maybe that's why bull sharks are more ruthless. I guess people, I know they say they have a lot of like testosterone and all that stuff. But it also could be because, you know, maybe pollution, or they're being injected with something that's making them more aggressive toward humans. Who knows? Yeah, they're not thinking of humans as food, but they're being aggressive when they attack these people. So, I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about. Also, they did do a great white show Monday, or they did a show on bull sharks, which I was fine with, because, you know, I feel like the past couple of years they focused too much on great whites and makos and alien sharks and all that stuff, and the bull sharks haven't got as much attention as they usually would get on a Shark Week. So, I don't know. But we did get a bull shark episode, but it still talked about great whites too, so it's pretty much great whites and bull sharks they were talking about. They also did another great white versus orca. And if it is evolution causing great whites to get bigger than the orcas, pretty soon we're going to be seeing the great whites go after orcas as food. So I don't know. Let's see. We have seen great whites, you know, eat on a dead whale carcass. So we'll see. Very interesting. Because, like I said, and, you know, if you look at the game Maneater, I know that's a fictional game and all that, but I'm pretty sure they took some elements from real life out of it. Like, even with the main villain, Scaly Pete, he's talking about how, you know, he thinks the Mega is still out there because he said that's what ate his dad, and that's why he hates sharks. And his son's like, no, Megas don't exist. There's no evidence of them. Yeah, that's true, but yeah. But, yeah, you also think about what you gotta do after you beat Scaly Pete. Where you go into, you take on, I think it's called the NWO, and they are taking sharks and experimenting on them. So maybe that's what's happening in real life with these sharks. Because, you know, I'm pretty sure some of these games are based on, they're fiction, but they're based on some real life stuff too. Just like movies are based on some real life stuff, like with Jaws. Based on those great white attacks that happened years and years and years ago. So maybe that's what's going on. Maybe there's some secret organization that's taking some of these sharks, they're experimenting on them, and that's why makos and great whites are getting bigger than what they normally would be. So I don't know. We'll say the Big Rose episode, they were trying to tag the shark to find out more. And the head scientist that was running that was an idiot because when they finally got the shark to come out, the guy didn't even have his freaking tagging device ready or nothing. And they know that shark's very shy around cameras, so it's not going to stick around long. This goofball runs to get it, and by the time he gets back out with it, that shark already disappeared again. So I also got to think about the movie Deep Blue Sea, because Deep Blue Sea was a movie where they were doing experiments on mako sharks. By the way, if you haven't seen Deep Blue Sea, that's a pretty good movie. Y'all should check that out. But they were doing experiments on mako sharks, and then the mako sharks were trying to make them intelligent. And then the mako sharks became so intelligent they almost killed the whole freaking cast. Only 2 people survived in that movie. That was Tom Jane's character and LL Cool J's. I don't know, I think the main girl might have lived. No, she died. But yeah, I mean, so maybe there's an organization doing experiments on these sharks that are making them bigger. Maybe they got a hold of some megalodon DNA and they probably freaking use that to make the great whites grow bigger. Who knows? The reason why I say that is because years ago there was a belief that megalodons and great whites were related, but now apparently, supposedly new research says no, they're not related, but who knows? So I don't know, it's pretty interesting what is going on with these sharks getting bigger. Hey, pretty soon they may get big enough to where they take on the whales, the orcas. So, I don't know. But I still think the megalodon's out there. I know everybody's like, oh, there's no proof, and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, there's so many myths and legends out there about the megalodon still being alive. You never know. But, yeah. Maybe this organization that's doing experiments on these great whites that are making the great whites bigger are freaking, they're the ones that's hiding the megalodons. Who knows? Or maybe these freaking great whites that are getting bigger, like I said a couple years ago in a Shark Week video, maybe these great whites aren't great whites. Maybe they're the new version of the megalodon. You never know. Maybe it's a new megalodon, reincarnated to be smaller and faster, so they can keep up with the other sharks of today. Who knows? You know, stranger things have happened in this world. I mean, yeah, stranger things have happened in this world, so you never know. But I don't know. You know, I never watched the Expedition Unknown shows. I don't think they did a new alien shark this year. I think this year the alien shark wasn't new. So, I don't know. But, I don't know. Maybe great whites are just evolving so they can kill the orcas that keep killing them. Never know. Never know. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments, because it's kind of weird that these sharks have not known. But then again, you hear all these old stories about how there used to be sharks that were like 25 feet, maybe even bigger than that people will witness, and they've even talked about them on Shark Week episodes. So, I don't know. Maybe they're evolving. And maybe they're evolving to become the true king of the ocean by taking orcas down. Who knows? So, Free Willy, you better watch out. Great whites are going to be bigger than you, and they're going to kill you all. You know? It's like that one story: save the whales but shoot the seals. That's a joke. Yeah, that's from Cheech and Chong, of course. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, before I talk about the Xmas stuff, like I said, let me know what you think in the comments. Why are these sharks getting bigger is what I want to know. Why do you think they're getting bigger? Do you agree with me? Do you think it's somebody doing experiments on them? Do you think it's pollution? Do you think it's evolution to, helping the great whites evolve so they can frickin' take out their main enemy, the orcas? Is it something else at play? Are these things new versions of Megalodon? Who knows? Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Now, like I said, so many things you can think about with that. Same with Makos. But like I said, if it's evolution, why is not bull sharks? Maybe a couple years from now, maybe bull sharks will start getting bigger. Maybe frickin' hammerheads will start getting bigger. Maybe tiger sharks will start getting bigger. Because I think tiger sharks are close to the size of great whites. So I don't know. But you guys let me know in the comments what you think. To anybody that watches this video, what do you guys think? Because I think it's either somebody doing an experiment, or it's pollution, or they could be new versions of Megalodon. Those are the three main thoughts I think. So, yeah. Anyway, because if it was, them finally evolving to be better than the orca, wouldn't that have happened years ago? Because of how many times orcas wiped out great whites? Now, before I talk a little bit about the X-Men stuff, and do a couple more predictions before next week's finale, let me say this. You guys saw Monday, I did 3 live streams. But on my second live stream, I got a copyright claim. Why? Because either Walmart or Ross, maybe even GameStop, one of them was playing music that I don't own the rights to. And, so I got a claim, my video got blocked, sent me a message talking about, you'll be demonetized. And you know what? I don't even care about the demonetization because I don't even make money off my videos. I do this as a fun hobby to get my opinions out there about things. I think I'm one of the few people on YouTube that covers Shark Week. I don't see too many other people talk about Shark Week. And I should have looked up the name of the people, but fuck you to those people. I don't control the music that Walmart plays. I don't control what Ross plays. I don't fucking control what GameStop plays. And I tried to rush out of there so the copyright music wouldn't be in the video too much. But my video getting blocked is what pissed me off. Even if I was getting monetized for these videos, I probably would have been pissed off more that my video was blocked. And they took away one of my new subscribers I got Monday. It pisses me off even more. So to the person that claimed that, or that fucking song, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! You can kiss my fucking ass, because it's not my fault that they were playing music. Now look, I think it's stupid that they would frickin' even do something where they're like, oh, we're gonna claim copyrights on this. Now look, if I was playing the music intentionally at my home, or at a friend's house or something, I could see myself getting hit with a copyright claim because I don't own the rights to that music. But I cannot go to Walmart, I cannot go to GameStop, I cannot go to Ross and say, hey, I'm doing a video here, can you not play music? They'll look at me like I'm fucking crazy. And then they're like, oh, just re-record the video and upload it. How can I do that? It was a damn live stream. So, fuck you for that. Fuck YouTube for that, too. Because that's a stupid rule. I even said in the video, I don't own the rights to this song. I did not frickin' play the song myself. Walmart and Target and that were playing it, or Walmart and GameStop and that was playing it. And I think it's stupid because, You know, a channel that gives fake news about stuff, whether it's a video game, movie, TV show, whatever, they don't get in no trouble. AI slop pops up everywhere on YouTube. They don't do nothing about that, but because of some fucking stupid musician who don't got a life other than attacking a small YouTube channel, which unlike these people that, hey, oh, I got over 1,000, or I got over 1,000 subscribers, but I'm still a small channel. My channel really is that small. I only got like 169 subscribers. And you're attacking me for something that's out of my control. If it was a freaking pre-recorded video, I could have went through and edited it and freaking took the music out of it. But it was a live stream. So it wasn't a pre-recorded video, it was a freaking live stream. So I can't edit it and re-upload it because it was a live stream. That's just stupid. This is why so many people have jumped from YouTube to other platforms, because of all the stupid bullshit that YouTube does on here. I don't even care if they get pissed about what I'm going to say. Somebody has to say something. But I mean, come on now. I cannot go to those stores and say, don't play your music, because I'm doing a YouTube video and I'm doing a live stream. I tried to get out there as quick as I can, which I did, out of both stores. I was like, I gotta hurry up and get out of here because fucking they're playing copyrighted music and I don't want to get hit with a copyright claim. And I still get hit with it. Like, you know, even trying my hardest to get out of there so the music's not playing too much of my video, they still hit me with it. So fuck that motherfucker who hit me with the claim. Probably don't got no life. They're probably a washed up singer who frickin' ain't doing nothing these days. So they're like, oh, let's look on YouTube and see whose channel we can harass. So fuck you for that. Kiss my fucking ass. I don't control what these stores do. I don't own Walmart. I don't own Ross. I don't own GameStop. It's one of the things I hate about YouTube currently now, all these stupid fucking dumb rules. One reason why I left YouTube in the first place last time. But yeah, so fuck you all. Y'all can kiss my fucking ass. I'm gonna block my video for something I can't control. And like I said, if it was a freaking pre-recorded video and not a live stream, I could have re-recorded it, or I could have went and edited it and freaking took the music out. But I can't do that when it was a live stream. It was a freaking live stream. I can't freaking do that. Once it's up there, it's up there. It wasn't recorded, pre-recorded like this video was pre-recorded. So yeah, fuck you all. Bunch of bullshit. And then they didn't even give me the option to freaking challenge it this time. And say, oh, do you want to challenge it? No, I definitely would have said yeah this time. I don't control what these stores play, and these are live streams. They're not pre-recorded videos, so I can't edit them before I upload them to freaking take the music out. Just dumb. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. So fuck that freaking singer. Fuck YouTube for letting them do that. And fuck them for blocking my video in certain regions. So, fuck it. You know, I freaking abide by all the other rules. And then because of something I can't control, I get punished for it. Yeah. Stupid. Anyway, now that I've ranted about that. So, today's episode of X-Men 97... we finally got Gambit back as the Angel of Death, but we also find out that, which a lot of people that predict this was right, Apocalypse put his consciousness in Gambit. I'm not going to do the full review of the episode because I'm going to review it next week with the finale. But, so, Apocalypse is still alive. Cable was going to kill Gambit. He tricked the X-Men. into helping him find Gambit so he could try to kill him because he knew Apocalypse was in there. And honestly, I think Jubilee and Sunspot left the X-Force, so alright, that leaves a big old hole for them. I think Wolverine might end up joining X-Force. Because if you've seen how Wolverine acted in last season, where, when Jade's like, he's here, and Wolverine's like, who? The Apocalypse? And then she's like, no, the baby. He's like, oh. And then you see what he did to Magneto in episode 8. And we saw what happened with the Brood episode, so maybe Wolverine might be one of the people that join X-Force. I think we might see a couple deaths next year, or not next year, next week. We might see a couple people leave the team of the X-Men and join like X-Force or X-Factor or something like that, so we'll see. But, also I think, what they built up at the end, which like I said, I'll talk about all on next week's review of both those episodes. But what they did at the end of this episode, I think that's what's going to also lead to Apocalypse winning at the end of this season and leading into the Age of Apocalypse. Now, maybe my prediction was wrong about Apocalypse transforming into the Age of Apocalypse from the comic, but then again, we still got one episode that could still happen. You never know. But yeah, anyway. That's my quick predictions because I don't want this video to go too freaking long. Want to talk about Shark Week. Talk about what might be making these sharks grow bigger. And I wanted to get my vent out about them blocking my video in certain regions because of something I can't control. And then I wanted to give a few quick predictions for next week's finale of X-Men 97 Season 2. They already got the trailer. They already showed the trailer for Season 3. Like a clip from Season 3 episode. Probably the first episode. So, yeah. Anyway, that'll do it. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Come check out my booth at Ackerman. Trigen Toys will be at Ackerman this Saturday. Because they only do one day there. So, and my wife's got another engagement where she, for her photography business, so come check us out if you live in this area this Saturday. Bought a few new things, just added a few new things a couple days ago, so gonna be pretty interesting. Anyway, that'll do it. Catch you guys later, and follow my Facebook fan page, follow my Facebook business page. And I'll see you guys Friday for the live stream. If YouTube don't frickin' deactivate my channel because I frickin' chewed them out too. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, check it out. Me, Gene, and JC, and this will be JC's return since my early days on YouTube. And this will be like the third video Gene's done with me. Another one was an NFL picks. Then we did the Cubs versus G.I. Joe debate. And Bubs might be in the video too. So, catch you guys later. Peace out.